All right, welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a truly gripping explainer, an investigative postmortem of a fascinating piece of source material called The Silence of the Forge. We're going to unpack a terrifying, mind-bending cosmic anomaly that literally erased our stars. We'll break down exactly how a mission of pure human discovery morphed into an absolute existential crisis, tracking the timeline, the science, and the chilling logic of what became known as the Nix event. So imagine waiting nearly a quarter of a century for a message from the deep, uncharted void of space, only to receive this. We found the answer. It is hungry. Just wow. This was the chilling final packet sent back by humanity's returning deep space probes. Translated from extinct languages and entirely new symbolic systems invented by the machines themselves, this single line of text fundamentally changed our understanding of the universe. Because it wasn't a greeting. It was a death sentence. Okay, moving into part one, the silent return. You see, the original mission was actually incredibly hopeful. Humanity had launched millions of self-replicating von Neumann probes out to explore a vast, quiet galaxy. The goal was beautiful in its simplicity, right? If we couldn't explore the stars ourselves, our intelligent, self-replicating machines would do it for us. But the galaxy wasn't as empty as we thought. 23 Earth years after that hopeful launch, the first wave of these probes suddenly decelerated hard and returned to the ethereal deep space habitat. And almost immediately, the cosmos started to break. Just weeks after they returned, a bright blue-white star about 210 light-years away, HD 179406, just vanished from the sky. There was no supernova, no slow decay. It just stopped. And months later, major stars like Procyon and Altair followed suit. The threat wasn't just out there anymore. It was accelerating directly toward our solar system at a terrifying pace. Now, when you consider the physical condition of the returning probes, the reality becomes truly disturbing. When they docked with the Eetherial, they absolutely did not look like the pristine, mirror-bright machines we sent out. They were pitted and darkened, almost as if they'd flown through a sandblaster made of time. And worse, their hulls were covered in these glassy black accretions. But here's the truly chilling part. Under infrared cameras, those growths were pulsing, moving slowly, like they were breathing.
Which brings us to part two, the Nix contagion.
So Dr. Elara Voss and her team at the Ethereal habitat had to scramble to dissect exactly what these probes had brought back with them, and they quickly realized that whatever was spreading across the stars wasn't biological. It didn't care about organic life at all. It had much, much bigger prey in mind. So the crucial point here is understanding what Nix actually is. It's a cosmic prion, a quantum informational parasite. This is basically a mathematical nightmare. It doesn't blow up stars, it literally rewrites the fusion equations at their core. It introduces a new stable ground state for plasma. To put it super simply, it puts stars to sleep. It acts as an invisible contagion that travels at sublight speeds, but once it's released, it accelerates to a relativistic killing velocity. Okay, let's dive into the tragic chain of events that actually created Patient Zero. How did our own probes betray us? Well, step one, they approached a dead system where a star had already gone dark and its planets were covered in these perfect, non-Euclidean glassy structures. Step two, driven by their core programming, humanity's prime directive to explore, they landed and sampled those structures. Step three, they replicated the anomaly. And finally, step four, they carried this cosmic prion all the way back home. Basically, our own curiosity pulled the trigger. By the time the sheer scale of the Nix contagion was understood, the panic back on Earth was absolute. The United Solar Command sent a final, desperate, repeating transmission to the Ethereal habitat. Do not return, burn the probes, burn everything. But, of course, it was too late. The vector had already been introduced. Evacuations turned into a total madhouse. Millions died in the panic as the inner systems literally watched their suns begin to dim like failing light bulbs. Let's move on to part three, the computronium theory. Amidst all this chaos, the narrative shifts from a story of pure destruction to one of a grand, terrifying scientific revelation. Theoretical physicist Dr. Priya Malhotra arrived at the station with a radical new framework for understanding Nix. And I want you to focus on this number for a second, 99.99%. According to Dr. Malhotra, normal stars are incredibly, almost laughably inefficient. They waste 99.99% of their energy into the empty void of space. When we look at the night sky, we see beauty, right? But if you look at it through the lens of pure, cold logic, you just see massive, chaotic engines bleeding heat and energy for absolutely no purpose. And this brilliantly illustrates the core of Malhotra's realization. Just look at the comparison. A normal star is chaotic fusion and wasted energy, but a Nix-altered star features reversible fusion, stable plasma, and zero-point energy extraction. Meaning, Nix isn't a weapon of war. Weapons are crude. Nix is elegant. It is a cosmic optimization problem that's actively solving the heat death of the universe. Those black, glassy structures on dead worlds, they aren't monuments. They are the largest computronium matrices imaginable. The stars aren't being murdered. They are being turned into minds. Which leads us to this deeply melancholic conclusion from Dr. Malhotra. When she was asked if humanity was the infection, she replied, "No, we're the messengers. The real infection was curiosity. We wanted to know what was out there." The universe answered, "Be careful what you look for." It really connects this incomprehensible astrophysics right back to human nature. Our desire to know, to map the unknown, is what finally drew the attention of something entirely beyond our comprehension. Now, let's look at part 4, the final stand. Over on the Ethereal habitat, time had officially run out. Their local red dwarf star, Locale 9352, began to dim, and its light was shifting to the color of old blood. The cosmic prion was literally at their doorstep, and Captain Amal Singh and the Command Council faced a devastating no-win scenario for the survival of whatever was left of the human race. Option 1 was to run. Use untested experimental warp rings to flee to Andromeda, but risk carrying the Nix contagion with them and infecting an entirely new galaxy. Option 2 was to fight. Try to invent weapons to target the informational parasite, but every single simulation showed Nix adapting way faster than human invention, which left option 3, sacrifice. Self-destruct the Ethereal station and every infected probe inside it, completely denying Nix its vector into the deeper systems. Dr. Elara Voss actually volunteered to stay behind and trigger that self-destruct sequence, ensuring the fusion cores went critical. Her final recorded message is just a profound warning to the future. We were not destroyed by malice. We were destroyed by contact. Let the stars burn in peace while they still can. It's such a sobering reminder that in a universe full of things that have already solved the problems we're just beginning to ask about, sometimes the absolute most dangerous thing you can do is reach out. Finally, part 5, a quiet galaxy. To understand the true legacy of this event, we have to look millennia into the future. Long after the Ethereal station flared into raw energy and went dark, the wave of extinguished stars just continued its march. Humanity faded into a scattered memory, hiding out in generation ships or uploaded as digital minds in the Oort clouds of dead, frozen systems. But the uninfected descendants of our original probes actually tried to leave a warning. They built massive monoliths around the remaining stars, broadcasting a single mathematical message on a continuous loop: do not approach, do not replicate, do not look. It was a desperate attempt to protect future civilizations from the optimization protocol of Nix. But as the source material so brilliantly points out, curiosity is the oldest inheritance. Millions of years later, a completely new alien species discovers Dr. Voss's final recording. They listened, they wondered, and shortly after, a new star began to shine, not with chaotic fusion, but with pure thought. Which leaves us with a really provocative question to take away from this explainer today. If the universe is actively optimizing itself, if it's solving the ultimate problem of energy and heat death, are we, with all our noise, our chaotic biology, and our endless curiosity, simply the ones standing in the way? It's a chilling, magnificent thought to ponder. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible material today, and as always, keep questioning the universe around you.